Here we go. Good day, people. SP Convo Hour. Trump ending birthright citizenship. Or can he? Let's see. Before we get into the show, I want everybody to like and subscribe. Tap in. You see it. SP Convo Cash. SP Convo. Let's get it together. Alright, let's tap into it.
New, a federal judge issuing a nationwide injunction blocking President Trump's bid to end birthright citizenship. The dispute is over the interpretation of the Constitution's 14th Amendment, which grants citizenship to children born in the United States. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
A federal judge ruling against President Trump, deciding he cannot redefine the meaning of the 14th Amendment to exclude the children of undocumented and temporary status immigrants from birthright citizenship. The judge issuing a preliminary injunction blocking Trump's executive order. Trump signed the executive order to end birthright citizenship just hours into his second term as president.
Birthright. That's a big one.
The order attempts to deny U.S. citizenship to children of undocumented immigrants and also to children of immigrants who are in the country lawfully but only have temporary status. The hearing comes after 5 pregnant undocumented women and 2 nonprofits filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration, arguing Trump's order violates the Constitution and multiple federal laws. 22 states and 2 cities also filing a suit to block Trump's order from going into effect.
It's sufficiently clearly unconstitutional according to every reasonable interpretation, according to the text, according to the history, according to the understanding of the framers at the time.
Lawyers for the Department of Justice claiming the order attempts to resolve prior misimpressions of the 14th Amendment. A federal judge in Seattle already temporarily blocked it, Trump vowing to appeal that decision.
On an issue this straightforward, it can't hurt to have lots of federal judges appointed by lots of presidents and confirmed by lots of different senates say the same thing in pretty nearly the same voice. Some constitutional issues are hard. This one's pretty easy.
This issue will likely make it to the Supreme Court. Then the judges will decide whether or not to take up the case. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
So you see, there's a judge that immediately blocked Donald Trump's executive order to ban birthright citizenship. So what does that mean for the American citizens? That means people have to continue to deal with other people's nonsense. That's what it means. A person have to continue to deal with the disrespect. You know? Enough is enough. People are tired of waking up and always have to be on the best foot, while others could be on a not knowing what it is foot. Because everybody come with that, oh, I don't know what it is. I don't have no idea. I'm not American. You have to excuse me. Allow me to migrate into the country while I get to have everything go my way and don't respect the struggles of those that built the country. Okay, that's what it's going to turn out to be. It's going to turn out to be a lot of tension in the country if people allow Donald Trump orders to just go fly away as if it's no chaos happening amongst us. They see the Venezuelans coming here, do that. crime. They see the Mexicans come here, bring crime, drugs, fentanyl. They see what's going on, but they want it to continue to go on for whatever the reason. Let's get in perspective. Let's keep this thing going. Laws have to be changed, man. Just like laws is being placed, laws have to be changed. Everything can't benefit the outsider. You know? It was some man was talking about everybody that's woke BS's because they're watching the country single-handedly being torn into a third world country. Let me see let's look up this real quick. Something have to change in America. Senator Schumer want to impeach Donald Trump over and over again. You know? Because something's going on in this country. They don't want Donald Trump to change the fabric of America back to how it usually was, how it originally was, because a lot of people is not going to benefit from this. And this is what it is. People fear this country being returned back to black and white, where a lot of laws was against the citizens and they gave government full access to have control. But not for nothing. Black people used to being in that type of bondage. So why shouldn't other people follow suit? It's not mean. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. Let's get into this.
ShopRite's digital doorbusters let you download huge savings. Like DiGiorno Pizza, 2 for $7. And Doritos Tortilla Chips, 2 for $5 with digital coupons. Download these digital deals today, only at ShopRite.
Let me ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You promised to end birthright citizenship.
Because it needs to be,
needs
to be addressed, man. It needs to be addressed.
Ask you about some of your other promises on this topic. You promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people, but we have to end it. We're the only country that has it.
Through an executive action?
You know, we're the only country that has it. Do you know, if somebody sets a foot, just a foot, 1 foot, you don't need two, on our land, congratulations, you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Yes, we're going to end that because it's ridiculous.
Through executive action?
Well, if we can, through executive action. I was going to do it through executive action, but then we had to fix COVID first, to be honest with you. We have to end it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
And for this, that's why they don't like him. You know what I'm saying? They don't like him. But you have to say why. Why is he not liked? You know? Let's tap into this. Remember this? Let's look into this. Remember this?
The attempted assassination of an American president unfolded minutes after he began to speak.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
As Donald Trump spoke to the friendly Pennsylvania crowd, shots rang out and the former president hit the ground.
They lift President Trump up from the ground. President Trump says, "I want to get my shoes on." I heard that directly from him. So they must have fallen off when they pushed him down. On his right cheek was a teardrop of blood right here. Then when he turned, you could see the right ear, from the top of the ear to the bottom, blood. Wasn't pouring blood, but it was blood.
Secret Service gunmen responded within seconds, killing the shooter, as other agents swarmed Trump. One other person in the crowd was also killed.
See that blood? And see what he said? Fight. Fight. Fight.
When he were coming up after the Secret Service, as far as with retrieving him and putting him into a secure vehicle and bringing him off, the president is hit or nicked right here, according to my photos. He was bleeding here and down in this area here, as far as on the right side of his face.
Trump offered more detail in his own statement, saying, "Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong when I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin."
So you see right there, they wanted that man gone. They wanted that man gone. They didn't want him here. Now ask yourself why. Why he's not wanted here? Does Donald Trump really speak so much rhetoric and hate? Or he just a man that want his country to be the way he remember it? Everybody have the right to want their country their way. I can't possibly believe that there's people that want their country to be somebody else's way. So let me ask you this. You spend a lot of money decorating your home, putting all the luxuries in your home. You work hard, break your back for your home to be comfortable. And then you have your cousin come over. Your cousin brings somebody that's not known to the family over to the house. The person end up liking your house. And the person want to keep you hostage in your house by saying, "Oh, it offends me that you have 2 toothbrushes and where I come from is only 1 toothbrush." So now you change the toothbrushes from 2 to 1 to show what? Kindness and open-heartedness to somebody that's manipulating you. Little do you know, to have everything go their way while they still do what they do. No, man. Donald Trump know what it is. Yes, he's making his money. Let him get his money. He's making his money. Everybody's not blind to that. He's making his money. He's letting people buy into the country. But the ones that think they're going to have no type of incentive to pay, no. I'm not letting nobody tell me what they want and they don't got nothing to better me. No, I'm making my money. It don't mean Donald Trump is selling his soul for the money. He just a man that want paper. He like paper. Everybody like paper. Everybody want their cash, their moolah. It's just what it is. So why should this man be any different? So the judge blocked it. So he's not going to get that one sent off. He's going to appeal it. But all these things that Trump is throwing out there, for the most part, you know, certain things are going to get passed because America has enough of this nonsense. We had enough of this you know what I'm saying? Enough is enough with this. Things got to be addressed. So let's see. What else I can find on this brother right here, Donald Trump? Let's see what else. Another one more minute before we get into details.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot.
So like I was saying, you know, Donald Trump is tired, man. Tired of going outside and have people bring their gang culture to the States and do what they want to do. Tired of that. You understand? He's tired of that. He's tired of other countries taking advantage of America being the big police, the watchdog. You know, it's almost like since America want to be the big police, let's add all the problems and headaches on them until they break. You know, as if the American people don't understand that's how malicious people could be. Trump understands that people could be that malicious. He understands that already. You know? Let's see. No. Come on, man. This information not popping up the way it's supposed to pop up. You know, these things right here is what Trump being accused for.
Yes, ma'am.
Like when
Go
Trump
ahead.
had an interview with the reporter. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen to this.
Go ahead.
As a high expectation from you. Do you have any plan to change Afghanistan situation? Are you able to recognize Taliban? Because I'm an Afghan journalist, Afghan separate woman. Any comment about Afghanistan? What's your future plan for Afghan people, especially Afghanistan?
I have a little hard time understanding you. Where are you from? Oh. Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying. But
You understand? So little stuff like that, they want to take that and say the man is biased. No, he just speaking out. You know? He wants somebody that listen. You come to this man country, there's all the education here. It's an English speaking country. Try your best to pronounce the words properly because you come to the country where that's what it is. So why is it okay for people to just to do half-ass work? You get the degree, but you're not changing your language. People need to understand the words is coming out of your mouth. Where we at? Hold on. I gotta get this.
Some of your allies have expressed concern that you're not taking this very seriously, particularly.
what a stupid question.
Where there's enthusiasm on the other side. Why haven't you been campaigning this week?
Because I'm leading by a lot and because I'm letting their convention go through. I am campaigning a lot. I'm doing tremendous amounts of taping here. We have commercials that are at a level I don't think that anybody's ever done before. Excuse me, what are we doing right now?
And that was actually my question, asking him why he's not campaigning. Clearly this race has taken a shift and Donald Trump has noticed. And I will tell you, it's not just Donald Trump. His own allies have told me they're worried about the campaign. They are worried about the direction that it is going in. We have not had a public campaign event for nearly a week now. Some of your allies have expressed concern that you're not taking this race seriously, particularly.
What a stupid.
Jay Trump just want his country to be the most powerful country. You know? Come on, man. He signed this already. Let's see. Until it pull up. Yeah, I don't have no problem with Trump being in power. I don't have no issues with that. You know, the Democrats have been in power for a long time, and the country have been A1. It turned from A1 to F1, and I ain't talking about a fighter jet. You know, the country has failed, fallen down. You know, because it's just too much nonsense. Too much nonsense going on. You know, the way we live our life in America, it's not the way I was even accustomed to living a life in America. I wasn't even accustomed to living the way I'm living now. You know, you got to be so courteous to so many different individuals, but yet they don't have to be courteous to you. You know, and I was raised to be courteous. So, let's see what this lady, Senator Elizabeth Warren, said some time ago. But we're going to get it together.
I do want to start tonight with something I think is an important baseline for basically everything we're going to talk about. And that is why Donald
Let's listen to it real quick.
Trump thinks he won the election.
I went on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, you know, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
So Donald Trump saying he won the election based on bringing prices down, and maybe he did. But during his first week in office, a period of time where I can tell you presidents typically use their power to make clear what their priorities are and do something about it, he was focused on anything but lowering costs.
Late tonight, President Trump announcing he will issue pardons for the January 6 rioters.
Trump reversing Biden-era immigration policies and declaring an
January 6 rioters, including the ones who brutally attacked police. He even freed convicted seditionists like Stuart Rhodes, who directed his far-right Oath Keepers militia in formation up the Capitol steps during the insurrection. And on Saturday, just days after leaving jail, Rhodes appeared at Donald Trump's rally in Las Vegas, standing right behind the president and Vice President J.D. Vance. That wasn't by accident, by the way. Trump has also declared war on migrants, trying to end the Constitution's guarantee of birthright citizenship with an order that's already being challenged in court. He's also pushing a series of made-for-TV deportation raids across the country, is the best way to describe them, promoted by allies like television's Dr. Phil, I can't make it up, who embedded with ICE for a sweep in Chicago. The TV optics are not a coincidence. I mean, according to CNN, at least 2 agencies assisting U.S. immigration officials with the sweeps have told personnel to ensure their clothing clearly depicts their respective agencies in case they are filmed by journalists. Dress appropriately for your immigration raids, I suppose, is what they're saying. Now, on Friday, Trump also fired 18 government watchdogs in a late-night purge, and he's made time for trolling the world with plans for expansion, of course. I mean, from taking control of Greenland and the Panama Canal to threatening to annex Canada still, and attempting to rename the Gulf of Mexico. And tonight, Trump was expected to sign more executive orders to purge transgender service members, while reinstating military members who were discharged for refusing the COVID vaccine. So that's how week 1 has gone. And it's all classic Trump. This has always been the strategy, to overwhelm the media and critics with far-right noise, lots of it. I mean, Trump ally Steve Bannon.
What's the problem? It's the American way. Spit your game, talk your rubbish, get a reaction from the crowd. You have to fill the post. Let's be honest, people. Everybody gets to come to America and do as they please. And that please includes having no regard for you based off whatever color you are, whatever religion you have, whatever group of people you come from. That's from the outside coming in. The ones that's here have to have open arms for outsiders. That is a problem. That is a major issue. And nobody's happy having to be open-minded, open-hearted, while outsiders have this lack of understanding of who you are or don't want nothing to do with you. That's wrong. So Trump is only giving back to what he sees being done. He's letting people know, cannot come to America committing crimes that you bring from your country. You cannot come to America burning the country's flag. You cannot come to America and disregard its citizens. You cannot come to America by hopping the wall, no matter what you're going through in your country, because you cannot act like you wasn't part of what's going on in your country. The majority of people are involved in what goes on in their country. And if they're not involved, the people that's innocent ain't going to tell on the ones that's doing that in their country. So Trump has the right to say, well, you are no better than that cartel member, because you're not going to tell me if he or she is a cartel member, regardless if that means your family may get killed back home. If you're not telling me here so I can protect mine, then both of y'all go back. There's nothing wrong with him thinking that way.
And laid it out very clearly all the way back in 2020.
I said, all we have to do is flood the zone. Every day we hit them with 3 things. They'll bite on one and we'll get all of our stuff done. Bang, bang, bang. These guys will never be able to recover.
4 years later, that's still the strategy. And guess what? Bannon says it's going great. He told the Washington Post, quote, "It's working. It's just stunning to me what they're doing. And it's not getting covered because it's too much. They're overwhelming the system." So yeah, they're going to keep flooding the zone. They're literally telling us that they're going to do that. They'll do a million crazy things, so we can't focus on any one thing.
But nobody's saying why they shot that man. Nobody's expressing why they shot him. Who's that hateful enough to shoot former, newly elected President Donald Trump? What's going on? Is Donald Trump a messenger of old that they want erased? Because I can't see myself waking up answering to somebody that don't have no idea of what I know. And I mean, I wake up, this is my country. I'm used to going to the store, give me a slice of pizza, and sitting on the bench, relaxing my nerves. I don't want somebody telling me in their country I'm only allowed in their country. You're only allowed to get a slice of pizza, and you must walk 10 blocks down. No, I don't want anybody implementing their country rules into my country. No, I don't want that.
Like whether they are delivering on the core promise they made about lowering costs. But the problem with flooding the zone for them is it makes it kind of hard to answer really simple questions about your agenda, like this.
Are you really the last person to find out about this skip ads forever button? This is Pi, and if it sounds familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen their ads everywhere, especially this one.
You campaigned on lowering prices for consumers. We've seen all of these executive orders. Which one lowers prices?
We have done a lot, and there have been a number of executive orders that have caused already jobs to start coming back into our country, which is a core part of lowering prices. More capital investment, more job creation in our economy is one of the things that's going to drive down prices for all consumers, but also raise wages so that people can afford to buy the things that they need. If you look at our slate of executive orders, no, Margaret, prices are going to come down, but it's going to take a little bit of time, right?
Relax, everyone. It's just going to take a little bit of time. It's pretty weak tea, at least from how I hear it from the sitting vice president, for what is supposed to be their number one agenda item. And just to put it all in a little perspective, I mean, Barack Obama campaigns on ending the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. And it took some time, but in his first week of office, that's pretty much what he focused on in every use of power and lever he had. Joe Biden vowed to end the pandemic and bring back the economy from the brink. He spent his first week in office trying to move that agenda forward and telling the country how he was going to do it. Meanwhile, the guy who promised to lower costs for the American people is busy flooding the zone with all sorts of things, as I just outlined, and hosting House Republicans at his golf resort to discuss how they can cut taxes for rich people. Look, what Trump's actions over the past 7 days have told us is that he really doesn't actually care why Americans sent him to the White House. I hate to break this to all of you. You all know this. In a new letter to Trump that was shared with NBC News, 20 Hill Democrats, led by Senator Elizabeth Warren, blasted the president for his twisted priorities, saying, quote, "During your campaign, you repeatedly promised you would lower food prices immediately if elected president. But during your first week of office, you have instead focused on mass deportations and pardoning January 6th attackers." To be fair, the White House is still working on those tariffs they're very excited about, which every economist will tell you will actually raise prices for everyone. And they're still working on those tax cuts to corporations and billionaires who definitely are not worried about the price of your eggs, I promise you. But hey, at least violent rioters are back on the street. He had time for that. Dr. Phil is in Chicago, embedded in a raid, and government watchdogs have been fired. That's the first week. Joining me now is Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts. It's great to see you.
Let's listen to what Senator Warren had to say, and then I get into the rest of my spiel, and we could close out the show.
You have written a lot of letters. I can't wait to see more letters. And there's so much I want to talk to you about, but I just wanted to talk about what I just laid out, which is this litany of things that Trump focused on last week. You wrote a letter with 20 Senate Democrats, today. And you noted in that letter there are a lot of things he can do. I mean, he can increase competition. He can deal with price gouging, things that will actually lower costs for people. Makes sense. Sounds great to me. Wish he would do it. And probably everybody watching. But I doubt he will do any of that. Do you have any hope he will do it?
So, look, either he will do it, which is really good for the American people. There are a lot of folks who are struggling to make it to the end of the month. Prices are going up. Price begs. $3.65 last November. The latest I've seen is $4.25. So there's a lot he could do. I hope he does it. But if he doesn't, then it is our job to hold him accountable. And right now, it's about focus. You know, it's just, you've got one of the words quoted in there. He kept using the words immediately. I will do this immediately when he ran. He said on day one. And it's not only that he hasn't moved the needle, it's that he hasn't even indicated he knows where the needle is or cares very much. And I think that's the part we have to keep bearing down on. His failure.
He's a businessman. He like money. You got to get that money. Everybody else is playing with that money. so that everybody else understand that. Until you understand what he understands. Excuse me. Until you understand what he understands. And then, nothing's gonna get done. I'm out.